Welcome back to Church versus the World, the channel where I talk about things that you and I might find interesting. Today, we're talking about a phenomenon that goes all over the globe. It started hundreds and thousands of years ago in Africa, then China, and then the Babylonians, and then H.P. Lovecraft? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That's an odd mixture, but stick with me and I'll tell you all about it. So here it is. In Africa, like thousands and thousands of years ago, the Nomo worshipped the dagon or the dogon. Yeah, it was very strange. Well, hundreds of miles, thousands, like halfway across Africa, these beings were getting worshipped by the Nomali tribe, and it was like Dogu. It was so incredibly close, and they were both the same thing, amphibian type humanoids that came down from the heavens in a thunderstorm, depart wisdom upon them throughout the day, and then have to retreat to the ocean at night just to come back the next morning. I mean, with the Nomali tribe, they found a chromium sphere in one of their little figurines, like 1700 years before we actually put that shit together on the periodic table. And then you have the Babylonians worshiping Dagon. Same thing. Like, it was an amphibian human creature that was their god, departing wisdom to them. I mean, and then you have the Japanese worshiping the dagon. Like, I think they still kind of worship that. Well, it sounds like dragon to me. And, like, all the depictions look like a dragon, but what is a dragon besides a reptilian creature that has arms, but they have wings? Yeah, I don't. It's all so connected to me. Like, it's odd because it's all amphibian like reptilian creatures coming down from the sky, giving them wisdom, telling them everything they want to know, from star mapping to agriculture. Like, all of these beings apparently came from the same place, Sirius B. Not just the Sirius star system, but specifically Sirius B. And they figured that out thousands of years before we found it. Like, you had these people in Africa that were supposed to be beating on drums and building clay pots, talking about, astronomy and Sirius B, like where their god came from. That doesn't strike you as a bit odd? Well, here's one that will. H.P. Lovecraft, yeah, said that all of this came to him from a dream. And he wrote about the god Dagon that was a water creature, yeah, that made deals with these people to help them enrich their lives. All they had to do was basically have intercourse, like, with, basically they had to interbreed. So then now you have, like, all these stories about these amphibian people that start off as human, but then they get that Innsmouth look. Yeah, that Innsmouth look. Mm. Kind of smells like fish. I don't really know if they're fish or frogs, because they tend to get described as amphibian-like, because they start off looking like us, but then as they age, they start looking like, yeah, like, and then after a while, they don't even look human at all. I mean, they start off looking like, damn, and then they end their life looking like, oh damn, like damn, ugh. And then there's that catchy, like in between cycle, and it's just like, like you look good from the back, like go home, go home, go back to that little swamp town, like not swamp town. That's the story I'm writing. They're in a swamp town. Oops, I'll I'll talk more about that later too. But seriously, you have all these things that are all connected. And then you have H.P. Lovecraft talking about it all came to him from a dream. And it just seems really strange to me that he would dream up something that was so close to what all these other continents seen, and all that there's nothing to it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a very odd and unusual. But here's my other conundrum. All these, like reports of reptilian beings being seen, and all the reptilians, they're going to take over. How do we know it's not the deep ones that H.P. Lovecraft was talking about? How do we know that they're reptilians and not amphibians? And like, how do we know anything? Like, it it makes you think. Well, it makes me think because these freaking dagon or dugong or fish folk were giving the people in Africa chromium, like little, you know, chromium spheres for their, figurines thousands of years before we came up with it. And that was their niche. They came down, gave people advice and technology, and said, you know what? Have fun. We're going to go back to the water. See you in the morning. Until they all loaded up in their, oh, Vamanas and took the hell off. Yeah, I said Vamana. Because you know what? Von Daniken was onto something. Like, you can look back throughout history, and a lot of these are amphibian gods coming down from the sky. Sirius B. Like, I don't want to say it's aliens to be that guy, but who knows? Also, I'm creating a line of merch. I don't know why. I'm just doing it because I want to. And I think it would be cool to see somebody wear my shirt. So if anybody's interested, as soon as I'm done figuring all this crap out and I get it put together, I'm trying to figure out how to link it to my YouTube like you see all those other people do, to where it's right above the comments. But until I get that figured out, after I get it all done, I'm just going to post a link to the store in my description box or the comments, something. Yeah. See you next time.